Good evening, everyone. My name is Manuela Siebert. I'm the CEO and founder of Level Up with M. And tonight I'll be speaking about how you can level up your business using NLP. So, what areas of your life would you like to improve? Have a read through them: business, career, money, relationships, confidence, or health. Do we have any volunteers? Maybe you stand over there. Yes, David?
Money.
Money?
Yes.
Yeah, excellent. Great.
Because I know money won't buy me happiness, but it sure as heck gets rid of a lot of problems.
It can buy a lot of pizzas
And a lot of pizza.
and risottos.
And risotto, correct.
And so I find that most of my clients, they want improvement of their business and career, depending if they have their own business or if they're working in a business, and money and health. We have health a lot as well.
It's true. Well, without health, you've got nothing.
Exactly. Health is wealth. That's what I always say. Yeah. Now, what is NLP? So N is neuro, so that's the brain. Linguistic is our language, how we speak to others and ourselves. So we all know this little voice. Sometimes it's really noisy, sometimes it's a bit more quiet. But it's around, and it's really, really important, especially how we talk to ourselves, and that also then impacts how we speak to others. And then lastly, the P is for programming, because we all, if you like it or not, but we do run on programs. And the good thing is, though, these programs, they are in the subconscious mind, and by using NLP and by using tools and techniques, we can access these programs and make changes to it to improve our life. So NLP examines what language our bodies and minds use to make sense of the data they receive from our nervous systems and how we can then behave outwardly as a result. Yes, David?
I'm just saying.
Oh, sorry.
Just for the camera as well, so
of course.
People can see it.
Of course. And one of the key questions is, how is that a problem? So if you think about something that is currently a problem for you in your business or in your life, and then think about it, how is that a problem? So I'll let you ponder on that. That's a take home. So NLP is really, it is called the science of excellence, and NLP is the optimization of your mindset. Yeah. So NLP in business. Now there is evidence that shows that the better you can communicate with your customers and with your staff, with your team members. Who here has teams? Yeah? Yeah? So it's very important, and obviously the team, they will be speaking with your customers. So it's really important how you speak to your team, the team culture, the company culture, the communication within the team and the community, so the company, and then how that is then taken towards the customer. Yeah? Ooh, I'm not sure what's going on there.
When you were moving the mouse.
Okay. And this is just a study which proves that if you miscommunicate, it does have a negative impact financially on you making business, which makes sense. Yeah, because people say people don't buy. I mean, they may like your product and your service. However, people buy you. They buy your personality. So it is important how you present yourself and how you communicate. A little bit about me, and there's no photo. I don't know. I don't know what's happened there. Maybe I'll go back.
So we know what you look like.
Yeah, I know. Okay,
Just stand in that square.
Yeah,
there.
just stand. Yeah. That's it. There we go.
Ta-da!
Oh,
Perfect.
wow, that's
Okay.
picture
That's
like.
better than a photo.
And there's just some media outlets where it was featured. So I did say, so I introduced myself as the CEO and founder of Level Up with M. However, I'm a serial entrepreneur and I have more than just one business. My other business is an immigration agency, which is called Auspire Immigration Australia. And so it's more like a traditional business, a service business, but I also have, a team that I communicate with, and I have obviously a lot of customers and clients, and especially when it comes to immigration, something like really, really sensitive, it's so important how you communicate, especially when you communicate with people who speak English as their second or third language. Yeah. And I know, because I'm from Germany and English is not my mother language, even though I'm now fluent, but I wasn't always like that. That's just come over time because I have been in Australia for 12 and a half years, and it's just what happens when you're here long enough. So I'm a migration agent and NLP practitioner, hypnotherapist, coach. I'm an investor, coin and crypto, other cryptocurrencies, and the traditional ones like shares, properties, and so on. I'm a speaker and I'm an author as well. And like I said, so these were the media outlets, but that's okay. Okay. So there is actually quite a lot more of fundamental principles. I just selected they are my favorites, and also they are not as complex. Yeah. So especially because I understand tonight we are beginners of NLP, or who has heard of NLP before tonight? David? Okay. So look, NLP has been around since the 1970s, so it's fairly young if you think about it. Yeah, it was founded by two psychologists, and but since then it has become very, very popular to use, especially for business purposes. So fundamental principles of NLP are respect for the other person's point of the world. So that is really important. Again, when you speak with your team or your customer, you got to really respect where they're at. You can't say, oh no, you're wrong, or that's not right, and just make them change. That's not going to work. There's going to be resistance for sure, and that's not good for the interpersonal relationship and for your business. One thing that I found interesting when I first started to learn about NLP is that people are not their behaviors. Yeah. So that is a big one. And that really helps, for example, when I work with clients on forgiveness. So many people, we're all people, we're all human. No one is perfect, so there's conflict. Sometimes conflict escalates. And, and then there's trauma, and, you blame other people and so on. But knowing that people are not their behaviors helps to understand and to forgive. And I can only recommend forgiveness is so important, because if you don't forgive, you drink your own poison. So forgiving other people is mainly for yourself, not for the other people. Accept the person and change the behavior. Resistance in the client is a sign of lack of rapport. So rapport is really building the relationship with your client or with your client or with your team members. Yeah. So rapport is really important. That is another good one. Everyone is doing the best they can with the resources they have available at the time. Again, this makes it easier to forgive people. Because you just need to understand that they did what they did because of the resources they had available. And people have all the resources they need to succeed and to achieve their desired outcomes. There are no unresourceful people, only unresourceful states. So states is state of mind. Yeah. So we already have everything. We just need to find the right state. And again, that's where NLP and the techniques can help getting into that right state and accessing that information and the resources. So you are in charge of your mind, and therefore you are in charge of your results. So it's all up to you, really. You are responsible, especially as adults. So we also can actually apply NLP with children. It's a different approach. However, obviously tonight there's all adults in the room. But if you who has children? Yeah. So it can also be applied to children. Yes.
Oh, sorry. Are you happy to take questions during?
Sure.
Okay. I have a 15-year-old
Yes.
teenager
Yes.
who's used to be a wonderful child 3 years ago,
Yes.
and then he's turned into this angry teenager that looks for opportunities to argue with me
Yeah.
about, I don't know, everything.
Yeah.
That's
Is-
so unusual.
That's so unusual. So I'm not the only one that has this problem?
Oh, no.
Oh my
Very
gosh.
common.
Yeah.
So how can NLP, and I understand this is very short, but
Mhm.
what's some things that can be done to improve? I know I'm not saying cure him because I understand he's a teenager, but to improve, make it more manageable.
Yeah.
Baseball bat.
Basically,
That is not NLP approved.
but
No?
it's Anthony approved.
It may be Anthony approved.
It
Yes.
used to work.
So look, so there's different things that we could look into. It all depends on your son's willingness to be open for it. If he is completely resisting, then people need to be open for it. If they're not, if they're getting forced to do something, it's not going to work, because then they just shut down and they So then, do you think he may be open for it?
Not really, because he thinks everything's my fault. So
Right.
he thinks it's not his fault.
Right.
So therefore, he thinks I'm the one that needs fixing.
Yes. Well, so I would say, so how I start with my clients is a very, a very in-depth conversation about. So I ask usually, the session starts with, okay, what is your problem, or why are you here? How can I help you? And then usually people start off with different things. For example, I have problems with my children, or problems at work, or I would like to improve.
Lose weight?
Pardon?
Lose weight?
Lose weight, quit smoking, something like that. And the problem is never the problem. And I will go a little bit deeper into that a little bit later. So what people claim to be their problem, for example, I have too much work, or I really want to quit smoking but I can't. In NLP, when someone says I can't, then we say they know the process of how to cannot do something. So I know. Yes, that's how NLP thinks. So again, it's all about the linguistic of how you describe something.
So could you repeat that, please?
Yeah. So if someone says I can't, they know the process of how to not do something, or how to cannot do something.
Wow.
Yeah, they know the process. And every process that we learn, everything is learned behavior, so you can unlearn it or change it. Yeah. There's no failure, there's only feedback. That's also a really good one. Yeah, because for me, for example, I really, I love growth. That's one of my values, my top values. So I love to push myself out of my comfort zone. Public speaking, like, I now really love it. Hence, when David asked me, I thought, yeah, no second thoughts, of course. I've checked my calendar, I'm available, yes. That wasn't always the case. Public speaking apparently is, I think, one of the highest fears of humans. I don't really understand why, but it is scientifically proven that public speaking is a really big fear of people. Now, I like to push my boundaries because I just really like to get to know myself, and I like to get to know my possibilities. And I like to be the best version of myself. That is another thing of NLP. As I mentioned earlier, it's a science of excellence. And yeah, and failure is just feedback. Feedback to, you know, if I, for example, fail and, you know, I make mistakes and I, you know, fail, and then I just look into it and I analyze, okay, what did I do wrong or what went wrong and how can I improve this? And sometimes I also decide, okay, I'm not going to do that again because, you know, sometimes it's just silly or sometimes it's just, you know, I need to practice more, or for example, my walking handstands. That was not a joke, I'm practicing walking handstands.
Oh, wow.
And I'm also practicing chin-ups. It's hard, it's tough. Who can do a chin-up? There you go, Hans. That's a spirit. Yes. Good on you. How many?
Not many.
Yeah? Well, one. I'm aiming for one. You know, we all start somewhere. Yes. Oh, 5 minutes. Really? Okay. Okay. So all procedures should be designed to increase choice. So obviously we don't want to do something in the NLP practice that would reduce your choices. Yeah, we want to increase.
You can have it a little bit longer, but that's
Okay.
just letting you know.
So the prime directives, maybe I just skip over that a little bit because the 5 principles of success, that is a little bit important. So you need to know your outcome. You of course need to take action. Yeah, because if you don't take action, then nothing's going to happen. Have sensory acuity. So that's really important again, especially if you're dealing with customers and clients and you have team members. Okay, so that's how you can, and you can train in that. You can really see, even when people say, yeah, I'm fine, you know, even at home when, you know, the wife or the husband says, I'm fine, you can tell with the body language and the tone of voice and so on, you know, Anthony, can you tell when you're in trouble?
Yeah.
There you go. Have behavioral flexibility and operate from a physiology and psychology of excellence. Okay. Representation system. So now I would actually want to ask for a volunteer.
Ken.
Yeah?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay.
As long as I don't have to stand on my head.
No, you're not. Okay, so Ken, and you can all do the exercise in your head, and so can I make important decisions based on gut feeling, which way sounds the best, what looks the best to me, precise review and study of the issues, A, B, C, or D.
Run through those again.
Pardon?
Run through them again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
I
Can you
can't
read?
see. There we go. That's better. Important decision which way sounds best, what looks best, responsibility and study of the issues. D.
Yeah. And I'm also probably gonna. Number 2, during an argument, I'm most likely to be influenced by the other person's tone of voice, whether or not I can see the other person's point of view, the logic of the other person's argument, whether or not I'm in touch with the other person's true feelings.
D.
D. I most easily communicate what is going on with me by the way I dress and look, the feelings I share, the words I choose, my tone of voice.
B, I think.
B. It is easier for me to find the ideal volume and tuning on a stereo system, select the most intellectually relevant point in an interesting subject, select the most comfortable furniture, select rich, attractive color combinations.
I think B.
and this is the last one. When it comes to things around me, I'm very attuned to the sounds of my surroundings. I'm very adept of making sense of new facts and data. I'm very sensitive to the way articles of clothing feel on my body. I have a string response to colors and to the way a room looks.
B.
Yeah?
So what's the prize? I'm looking forward to my prize.
You got only 1 out of 5.
Probably. Okay.
Technician.
So we have
ADD.
okay. So there is 4 dominant rep systems for humans. We've got visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and auditory digital. And as you can see, Ken, the majority is 80, auditory digital, and K is kinesthetic. And as you can see, auditory digital on the bottom. So would you say you think a lot? You're a thinker? Yeah? You talk a lot to yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, you're very
Yeah.
chatty as well.
Yeah.
On the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you buy things based on the research that you've done, and you compare different reviews of the product? You ask around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you make the buying decision.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you have 1K, and that is very typical AD and kinesthetic, because they say that ADs are recovering kinesthetics, and vice versa. Kinesthetics are recovering ADs.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a strong connection between them. Yeah. How did everyone else go? Where would you put yourself? Like, are you rather visual? Like, is it important what you see, or more what you hear, or more the feeling?
Kinesthetic.
Kinesthetic?
Yes.
Yeah. I am. What do you think I am? Yes?
Visual.
No.
Oh.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I am.
There we go.
Yeah. And moving towards kinesthetic.
But you dress very well, which is a visual trait.
This is for the visuals.
Yes.
Yes. This is
And
for
so-
the visuals. You got to give the always when I present. I always make sure that I wear accessories, and that I wear something colorful for the visuals, because they get distracted. They need that. If I would dress in black and white, they depends on the topic, of course. But yeah, visuals we need that effect.
That's right.
And so I may skip that, because this is what we just discussed with Ken, the buying strategy, just to speed things up a little bit. But yeah, it's really, that's what you really can use in your business, especially if you have, for example, a product business. You can get to estimate what are your customers. Are they more kinesthetic? Are they more AD? Are they more visual, auditory? And by yourself, you can go for that exercise, asking yourself, can you remember a specific time when you bought something that you really loved, and what was the process? Yeah. So with Ken, for example, he's doing research, he's talking to other people, you may try something out, but it's going through the process. Visuals, they see something and they buy it. Usually. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, flexibility of behavior. So, for example, as an AD, I still appreciate if something looks nice, you know, or if something feels nice. But my dominant rep system is AD, so I'm very much in here thinking. Okay. I may leave it. I have a few more. I have a bit more content. I think it was the questions. And so actually, my sales pitch. Do I have 2 minutes for the sales pitch? It's not going to be 2 minutes actually. Okay, so I may have to come back and do the rest. So I wanted to talk also about hypnotherapy, because hypnotherapy is absolutely a game changer. Really, it's a game changer, especially if you want to do any of that. You know, quit smoking, weight loss, sleep, motivation, anxiety, stress. It's really incredible. Oh, this is a shame, because this was a photo of my clinic. Yeah, on the water.
Beautiful.
On the water. It's beautiful. It's yeah.
Oh, we can see that.
Yeah.
We've got imagination.
And this was this is a photo of my client Matt, who is a 35-year-old plumber, self-employed. He's come to me with monkey mind, so it's too much going on. He can't focus. Who is familiar with that feeling? Yeah. He came to me, and as we were speaking, and I was like, okay, where is it at from out of 10? And he's like, 9. And then I did some process with him, some techniques, and then it was down to 2. So yeah, that was and that was one session. That was one session. So I can help with, yeah, like I said, I can help you improve your life. Yeah, and that we would start with one session, just especially if you never experienced NLP or hypnotherapy. You know, start with one session and see if you like it, and then we can explore further. And like I said, the problem is never the problem. With Matt, for example, he said monkey mind, but it was actually, there was so much that came up from it that he actually forgot. However, he forgot it in his conscious mind, and it was still in his unconscious mind. Hence, it's caused a lot of issues in his life. So these are all the things that I can help with. And so my offer today in the room is an NLP or a hypno session. Value is $447. And today in the room, it's $147 only. And I accept 50% on coin because I'm registered on coin. But this is only for if you book with me today. For some time, you know, can be sometime next week, sometime, you know, maybe sometime, I would suggest sometime this year. Yeah.
Very good.
And this is how you can connect with me. So LinkedIn, this is my mobile phone number, and I do have a Facebook group called Level Up with M, where I post very frequently. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Do you want me to unplug this? Oh, there you go. What's that? Oh, it's a little bit longer. I think it's,
That's okay. I'm
Yeah?
just saying that you got a good shot at it.
Oh, good.
So excellent. Did you enjoy that?
yes, I did.
Did you enjoy that?
Yes. Yay!
Excellent.
Thank you, Ken, because you're the guinea pig. So congratulations.
Yes, thank
So,
you for volunteering,
We can
Ken.
pick that up later
Oh,
on.
yeah, okay, sure.
We'll let Ken sort it out. He's going to now do a little bit of presentation. So
Yes.
have a seat and relax now. So Ken, would you like to set up? So just while Ken's setting up, is there anybody that's got a question for Manuela?
Empty rooms.
Anyone got a question? Well, I have a question.
Sure.
So, since we started off this conversation about my recalcitrant son and things unfold, classic example, he forgot to take the key out
Yeah.
with him and he left the house.
Yeah.
And I've reminded him many times to the point where he said, Dad, stop reminding me, I got this covered. Anyway, I had to go out as well, so I was out of the house and he came home, no key, and so he had to sit outside for 2 hours, and when I came home, he was livid, and of course it was my fault.
Yeah.
Why did I go out? What was I doing leaving the house so that I couldn't open the door for him? And he accused me of being a neglectful father because he didn't have any water.
I reckon. Look, there's a few.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, and
Yeah.
you know, we do have to consider that he's a teenager.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. There could be underlying issues. You know, I'm just now really
Yeah.
kind of, you know, saying generic things. What could be, but not necessarily have to be the case with your son. So that is something that I could find out if he would be willing, you know, to come for a session.
He's also the product of a broken marriage, which, because I'm
Yes.
a single dad, so that does not help add
Yes.
one little bit.
Yes.
If I could couch it in terms that it's a benefit to him, because if he thinks it's going to benefit me or us, not
You want-
interested. But if he thinks it can benefit him,
Yes.
then he may be interested. So
Yes.
maybe we can have a chat about that later.
Yes. Even for example, if you think about something that you know that he wants to change or improve, and then say, hey, I know this lady, she can help you with that. And then, like I said earlier, the problem is never the problem. And once I have someone sitting in my chair, and you couldn't unfortunately see these comfy chairs that I have with a water view. I live on the canal, so it's very calming. And you know, and then we start talking, and then we start with something, and then we end up, you know, like a lot deeper. And even the person, they're like, oh my god, I forgot about it, I wasn't aware of this, and so on. It's really magical. The cue is though he needs to be open for it.
And that's it. So
And
it's
that's it, yeah.
got to pitch it in such a way, because if he thinks he's doing me a favour,
No. Yeah. So think about something that he really likes, or that he would like to change or improve.
okay.
For example, I mean, he's 15. Is he interested in girls?
He was. Well, I mean, he is, but I've stopped that because he had a relationship with a girl earlier this year, and it was a distraction for him. So I've said, you know, no more.
Yeah.
No more school time relationships. There's
Yeah.
plenty of time for that afterwards.
Yeah.
Not that I can really control that.
Do you want to take that offline maybe later on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Otherwise we'll get involved.
I
with
was
your
waiting.
life
I was
too
just
much.
wasting time while you were mucking around.
All right,
Now you
mucking
ready?
around. Okay. Well, we're going to talk about